stream, and it should hopefully be up now. There we are. Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps from round 8 of the Turbo League. Hitler currently setting the pole position time of 1 minute 44.6. I'm Tilson O'Slade, I'll be your commentator for this evening, and it is just me on my own for this one, so I've got 22 laps around this circuit in the Ardennes as well. Scout down here making his way now through the latter stages of the lap. He's got his lap invalidated, so he'll be charging up the battery and going again in the Aston Martin, and goes into the pit lane actually there, so he'll be coming out onto the track once again later on in this session. Yellows is sector 2, I believe that is AGR UK, one of the front runners here, just taking it a bit slowly through the middle sector there. He's now back on his way. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this race. Allswede Goals, yeah, I've got Allswede Goals going purple through sector 2 in the Mercedes. And now through Blanchemont on the latter stages of the lap. I'm up towards the bus stop chicane in the final corner around the mighty Spa-Francorchamps circuit, braking just after the 100-meter board, now down into second gear, gets the first part nicely turned and then rotated, and then short shift on the exit, get the traction and to the line. What is it going to be for the Mercedes driver? It's a 1 minute 44.5. He goes to provisional pole at the moment, then by 1/10 ahead of Hitler in the Haas, who's also back out on the circuit. Got Prems as well going very slowly there through the final sector, going to cut across the chicane and back into the pit lane. Wolfie is another front runner in the fight for the championship here, and he makes his way now through Blanchemont. Yellows in sector 3. I think that's a slow moving McLaren just setting up a lap. And I'll ride on board now with the Irishman as we head down towards the final chicane, just after the 100-meter board, once again down into second gear. Lock up you heard on the left-hand side of the tyres. And now to the line, what is it going to be for Wolfie on the medium tyres? It's a 1 minute 44.9 and does go into P3 and onto the second row of the grid. So that's a strong start there from the Irishman. And the fastest final section of anybody, so got that to boot as well. And also the only person in the top 5 to have done that lap on the medium, so a bit of a conscious strategy perhaps here from Wolfie. It should be an easy soft to medium or medium to soft race, this one. It just depends which way the drivers decide to play it. And we'll see who else is on the lap. Aston has invalidated his lap. Coinclont doesn't look like he's on a particularly fast lap, so I'll go down here to Live. He's just gone through No Name, and now down towards Pujon, one of the most iconic corners on this track, as the Aston Martin of Aston in front gets out of the way there nicely. Now on board with the McLaren as we head down through Pujon and into Fagnes, the right, left, right chicane, fairly medium speed corner this. Takes the first part and fourth, second part and fourth, shift up to fifth on the exit, and now we're braking down in towards Stavelot corner. Just misses the apex there actually in the McLaren. Has done the fastest middle section of anybody nonetheless, and now into the final section. It's flat out from here all the way to the bus stop chicane. Got yellow flags in sector 3. Those go back to green as the Mercedes of Prince sets up a lap there. And now through Blanchemont we come, remember where Max Verstappen made that move on Felipe Nasser in 2015, and now into the final chicane. A bit of a lock up there from the McLaren, as we've seen a lot of drivers do so far in this quali session. And now to the line, Live OK Dots, it's going to be a 1 minute 46.6, and that is so far the slowest time we have seen. So despite setting that very fast sector 2, it's going to be only 7th on the grid at the moment for the McLaren. As Dirk now going to the pole with 1 minute 43.9, first man into the 1 minute 43, so that would be a strong lap there from the Alfa Romeo. We'll see if his teammate Conan can get anywhere near that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Mercedes garage, Prince is on a lap as well, making his way now through No Name and down towards Pujon corner. We've got an Alpha Tauri in front of us. I believe that must be AJ in the Alpha Tauri. Also on a lap, I've been on an out lap, sorry, so should be getting out of the way really of this black Mercedes here as he makes his way through Fagnes, where Hamilton had that spin in 2019 practice. And now in towards that lock corner, fourth gear, hook it up nicely, just run over the curb on the exit. It's the fastest middle sector that we've seen so far. This could be a mighty lap here from the Mercedes driver, as the Red Bull flashes through in front, still in its distinctive white livery from the Turkish Grand Prix. And now through Bon Shimon, look at how much downforce that car has now. They create so much downforce, these cars. And heading up in towards the final chicane now. Yellow's in sector 1. That's a car setting up a lap, I believe, as well. And now to the line, Prinz. What time can he do? It's going to be quick in the Mercedes. It's a 1 minute 44.3. Puts himself onto the front row of the grid, but just behind Dirk. Just right on board with Haswanis here as he goes up the mighty Rajon Rouge complex and over the top in the Red Bull. DRS flies open then as he head down the back straight now. And we'll have to wait and see what his first sector time is. It is a 30.2, so 2/10 up on the best time we've seen through there so far, and he's gone fastest through there of anybody at the moment. A little bit of lag as he heads over the top of what corner is that? Well, never mind, he's in Bruxelles now. The long right-hander. Let the car drift up towards the middle of the track. We'll gather it all back up before we head into No Name. Very fast, sweeping left-hander. And now down the hill towards Pujon, using the esports line there, of opening two wheels onto the green AstroTurf. And now through Pujon, look at how much grip he has through there. Exceeding track limits a bit, but no invalidated lap on this occasion. And now at Fania Corner, breaking down to 5th gear. Keeps it nice and close to the apex here in the Red Bull. And now on exit, doesn't lose the rear, so that will be a good exit for him. As you head now towards sector, let's see what the split is. He's 6 seconds up on his lap time, and another purple sector from the Red Bull. This looks like a very strong lap here from Haswanis. Heading through the final sector now, I've got it set to yellow flags. So Mercedes going slowly. And now towards the bus stop chicane, number 2 for the Red Bull. What's it going to be for Haswanis? Sends it into the chicane, very well hooked up there, uses first gear for the exit, and gets a bit of oversteer there. It's a 1 minute 44.5, so lost some time there actually. I did Haswanis there. You've got cars coming into the pits now. Ooh, and all kinds of out of shape there was Prenz in the Ferrari, sliding it through the exit of not Blanchimont. Keep forgetting what corner that is. Lacon, there we go, Lacon. And yellow's in sector 3. That's a Williams going slowly. I think that might be Wolfie. It is Wolfie on an out lap. We'll see what lap time he can do. Yeah, let's see who's the next car to the line. It's going to be the Scout Dan in the next car. Doesn't look like he's going too quickly, however, in the Aston Martin. And indeed, I think he's backed off of that lap. I'll have a look here. He's on an out lap, so the next car will be Prem's, 2/10 up through the middle sector. So that is a purple middle sector there for the Ferrari. This could be good. Ferrari do need some more positions really in this qualifying session. Currently find themselves in 9th and 17th, so they'll be looking to catapult themselves further up the grid here. And now towards the final couple of corners, Prem's in the Ferrari. Breaking down to 2nd gear, gets it nicely turned in there, and for the second part as well. On the power as soon as he can to the line. What is it going to be for Prem's? It's a 1 minute 44.9, so it only moves up into P8 at the moment in the Ferrari. And the next car to the line, I believe that is Eitler, but I don't think he is on a lap, so Haswanis as well, don't think is on a lap. Joe Brada, yep, he is possibly on a lap. I think he is on the lap here, yeah, so we'll stay with Joe Brada as he heads through the final parts of the lap. The car of the sector 2, I think that's the Ferrari of Harry retiring there. And taking a very unorthodox line there through the final corner with Joe Brada. Now to the line, it's a 1 minute 48.4, so he'll need a lot more pace than that realistically. As McLaren about to cross the line to start the lap, and then we've got AJ. And AlphaTauri's coming into the pit lane. We'll have a look at the Scout. Daniel's invalidated his most recent lap. Aston gets out of the way of Wolfie. He'll be coming to the line. Now let's see what time he can do on the soft tyres. It was a 1 minute 44.9 before. It's a 1 minute 43.7 now. And Wolfie goes to provisional pole right there in the Williams on the softs. Very good lap time from the Irishman. Oh, you've got a car off. That looks like a hat. And it's Joe Braden. Joe Braden's out of the session. And he'll try and see what's happened to him. Oh, and he's just reversed off into the barrier there. And did he get disqualified for going the wrong way around the track? Next car past the incident will be Wolfie. We'll try and keep an eye out here for Joe's car. There'll be someone on the left-hand side here, I think. Car must have just despawned there. And Joe's actually left the session, so hopefully we can get him back before the race starts. Oh, and a big sideways went there for the McLaren, and almost goes into the wall as K-Dot's very well held there from that driver. Very, very well held indeed. That could have been a disaster, but lives to fight another day in that McLaren. But I think that will be this particular lap over. Aston has invalidated again over the course of this lap. Whether or not he has enough fuel and tyres and ERS to go for another lap remains to be seen. We've got a Mercedes on a lap. I believe that's Oiswider, sorry. And now coming towards Spanier corner. Looks all nice and neat, doesn't it, from the Mercedes? Black and purple livery helmet, looks like. Potentially a tribute to Lewis Hamilton. The statistically greatest driver in Formula 1, although greatest of all time remains up for debate. He goes in sector 1, that's car going out the way, so no harm done there. And now also while the goals coming towards the final parts of the lap through Bonsham on the flat out left hand. Don't even think about it in a Formula 1 car, and braking now for the final corner. Number 40 on the Mercedes, and now around the final corner, back on the power once again, and to the line. What's it going to be? Can Mercedes respond? No, they cannot. It's only P7 for Oldswider there, and what is that, about half a second off of Wolfie. But still here, we've got first to 10th all within 1.2 seconds, so great levels of competitiveness between the drivers here in the Turbo League, and indeed over the entire NRL as well, Nitrous Racing League. So, what's new? The next car to cross the line. We've got a Haas on an outlap, Red Bull also on an outlap. Aston has come back into the pits. He did not have enough tyres, fuel or ERS to go for another lap. K-Dot is not going to make it back to the pits. Koning has just invalidated his lap there, actually. That's a real shame for him because he was about half a second up there. So, yeah, he'll have to come back to the pits and go again, although they're actually not going to have enough time to go again here. So, only option now for the Alfa Romeo is to stay out and do another lap. But he's only got 50% of his ERS left, as Perfect Pond responds with a 1 minute 43.2. 5/10 clear of Wolverine. That is a mega lap. That's going to be very, very hard to beat, indeed, for any of the drivers behind. But let us now turn our attention to the Scout Dan, who is starting on the pit stops and drives it through Rajon Rouge. Nicely done there, nicely held. No massive dramas there for the Aston Martin. Now breathe a sigh of relief as he head down the Kemmel Straight towards Le Combe. McLaren on the right hand side keeps nicely out of the way there, Perfect Pond. And now in towards Le Combe quality to 10th up on his time. There's a bit more pace than that though if he wants to challenge for pole position here. He's got a Alpine on an outlet that's not going to make it to the line. Prince has started his lap already. He's 400ths down though on his time through the first sector. We'll take a look now down here to Black Country Mission. No, Black Country Mission is in the pit lane. I believe it's Javel coming up to the final corner. Who else is on the lap? Eatler has invalidated his laps. That's his fight for pole done. Has Wannis though 7/10 up on his lap time. This could be mega here at the death of qualifying for Has Wannis in the Red Bull. Rounds the final corner now and drives it to the line as quickly as he can. What's it going to be for Has Wannis? It's P3, 1 minute 43.7. No, so goes on to the second row of the grid there. AGR UK has actually validated his time as well. So now it's all down to the Scout Dan, who's 2/10 down actually on his time through the middle sector. So he's lost time through there. And now towards the final couple of corners, can he find some pace? Can he find some time on the brakes here into the final corner? Oh, a bit of an oversteer there on entry. You saw him correcting it through the corner. Now to the line for Dan. And it's only 1 minute 45.7 for him. K-Dots as well has invalidated his lap. Going up here now to Prince, who's coming around the final couple of corners. He's 2/10 up on his time. Could he improve his position here on the soft tyre? And it's a 1 minute 43.9. And he goes into P5 just behind Wolfie. And I believe that's going to be it for qualifying, with all other drivers either having invalid laps or have gone off the track. Yeah, it's going to be perfect Pond when he takes another pole position here in the... Oh no, hang on a minute here. Could have a late resurgence from Dirk. No, Dirk's going to go into the pit lane. But yeah, another pole position in the Turbo League then for Perfect Pond. Very well done to him and to the McLaren team. Yeah, big thank you to everyone who's watching, all 15 of you. And yeah, we're going to get the race going here as soon as we possibly can. I think we've got a Ferrari out on the track. He's going to just drive over the line, I think. And there we go, that will be qualifying over. And I'll take you through the grid order before the race in just a sec. Yeah, as I was saying before, without any rain, looks like this one's going to be a soft to medium race. Only one driver setting a lap time on the mediums, and that was Black Country Mush, so he'll be starting outside the top 10 nevertheless, but with a set less of the medium tyres to boot. So we'll have to wait and see how that strategy pans out for him. But the fastest driver then, Perfect Pond, the Canadian in the McLaren, Dirk, the Mexican in the Alfa Romeo, about half a tenth, exactly half a tenth, sorry, behind his Canadian rival. Hazwanis in the Red Bull lines up third, Wolfie in the Williams is fourth, Prince is fifth, Javille sixth, Eatler seventh, AJ eighth, Osweiler Goals ninth, and Prems rounds out the top 10. Black Country Mush, first car with free choice of tyre, remember, he will be in 11th, the Scout Dan 12th, Aston 13th, Koning 14th, K-Dots 15th, Joe Brader 16th, and Harry will line up last at the back of the grid with no time set during that qualifying session. So just 12 seconds to go before we get the race underway. I'm looking forward to it. I hope everyone in the chat is looking forward to it as well. And yeah, this should be a good one. 22 laps to decide your winner around Spa-Francorchamps. Yeah, I think the fight back for Harry is definitely going to be interesting here. We'll have to see what tyres each driver decides to start on. If it goes soft to medium or medium to soft here, get the harder compounded tyre out of the way for the first stint and then be quicker at the end. But we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. 10 seconds here to go before we get the cars rolling on the formation lap. Probably the longest formation lap of the year, but then we're going to get more racing laps than they did in real life around this track. So hopefully we're going to get that going now. As the cars get underway then for the parade lap here, Perfect Pond will lead them away, as I'm sure he'll be hoping to do on the end of the first lap as well, but the lag issues there for the McLaren. Yeah, Harry, who you normally see running very close to the front, so the start from the back in this race, and he has elected for a set of the soft tyres. And we've got a car stopped there. That's Aston, who stopped out on the circuit. We'll wait to see what reason that is for Aston, but he has dropped a long way now behind the rest of the pack. Yeah, because it's such a short run here into La Source, we might see drivers take many risks into the first corner, and some will be rewarded, some not necessarily so. Turn 1 is definitely an area where crashes can happen, and indeed we can get first lap safety cars very easily around here. I'm sure the drivers will be hoping to avoid that. I think Aston's catching up to the back of the pack now. So Some very strange audio glitches going on there. Yeah, Perfect Pond wasting absolutely no time on this formation. That piece pulled very clear from Dirk, so he'll be sitting on the grid for a while, then waiting for the rest of the pack to get formed up. Dirk there using Devin Butler's helmet from the F1 Breaking Point series. Haswan's bringing it up in third. And now, there we go, Perfect Pond slowing down the pack. He's not going to be sat on the grid for too long there, it turns out. Very strong qualifying as well from this man, Wolfie in P4. Let's see what he can do as well from the second row of the grid. Still in the fight for the championship in the Williams, and we'll have to wait and see what happens down there. So Aston and Harry still a long way behind the rest of the pack here, so we're going to have some massive gaps between the cars as they get to the actual grid. There's also a big gap there between Prince and Wolfie, so the top four wasting no time on this formation lap. As they get now to the grid, Perfect Pond pulls into his perfect pole position, grid position, as all of the cars form up now. Harry just coming around the final corner. He did not participate in qualifying, so he will start last. We'll see how far up the grid he can get, but now all of the attention turns to the cars on the front row. Perfect Pond versus Dirk into turn 1. Who will win? We've got 22 laps, and before that we've got 5 lights, and they go out. We're racing here in Belgium. The lights are on, and it's going to be lights out. They're going for the Belgian Grand Prix, and Dirk has had a great start there. Perfect Pond on the inside, didn't get off to as good of a launch. Now coming down in towards the Source corner. Perfect Pond goes very wide. That could give Dirk a chance on the exit. We've got an Alpine going very far wide. That was Jabel going very much off the track there at turn 1, but Perfect Pond still leads. We've got cars going side by side into Rouge and Rajion corner, but both back out of it, and we've got Dan and Black Country Mush out of the race already. Did not see what happened there. Prince coming up the outside of Rajion now as well, with K-Dots right alongside him, but going into the Com corner. Then they go 3 wide, are they, between Wolfie, Jabel and Haswanis, and Jabel goes back down the inside but goes off the track, and that's Perfect Pond. Perfect Pond's round from pole, and it's a terrible start to the race for the McLaren. He falls right to the back of the pack now. And Wolfie really challenging the back of Haswanis, and the 2 Ferraris going at it as well, going into Bruxelles corner. There's a lot of action here on the first lap already. But yellow flag in set 2, you've got Koning, who's off at the back there as well on the exit of the Com corner. And now Wolfie having a look at Haswanis into Pujon corner. That was never going to work out properly for the Irishman. He tucks back in behind the Red Bull now. But a manic lap there, and a Perfect Pond, whether he spun or was spun out, we didn't see, but he has fallen right to the back of the field there. And we've got Prince and Eater going wheel to wheel now into Stavelot corner, get the track. Oh, we've got the car off as well again, and that's K-Dots. And disaster for the McLaren team here as K-Dots now goes to the back of the pack. But Javel gaining on Dirk here all of the time. I'm going to get the telemetry up on the screen, see who's using their ERS and who isn't. Javel, sorry, already down to 60% here at the end of the first lap. Wolfie still having a look at Haswanis, but can't get past at this stage of the race. Now deploying all of that battery into turn 1. He does have the snitching, but Jabel's going for the lead here on Dirk, and he has the lead. He gets the inside line at the source, and the Alpine now moves to the lead of the race. Very bold stuff there from Jabel. He wants to lead this race early, and he wants to lead it now. But Dirk's going to be coming back and as they head up Rouge, and Magin are now down the Kemmel straight. Did Jabel make the move too early because he's now vulnerable to the attacks of Dirk? He's going to go to the inside line. Jabel leaves it open for him. Similarly, Wolfie in the background making a move on Haswanis as they head up now in towards the Com. Dirk gets his lead back, and Wolfie gets past Haswanis and goes up into 3rd place. And now Prima and Ida coming together, and Ida's got massive front wing damage there. I don't think Prince notice that the Haas is on his inside line, and we have a virtual safety car here on lap 2. And that was very, very dangerous there between the 2 Haas cars. Do not know how they did not come together there. That would be a certain trip to the pit lane for Eatler in the Haas. Yeah, very, very big instance there on the first lap. So let's just take a moment to process everything that's happened there. Perfect Pond from pole position had a crash at the corner. He now finds himself back down in 15th position, and he's got a lot of work to do here. One man who has really come out of this very well is Harry, who came from the back of the grid. He's now in P6 after just 2 laps and only 2.5 seconds behind Prinz in the Mercedes. Back out in front is still Dirk, who leads them from Javel by just under a second. Wolfie showing great pace in these early stages. He's got himself into 3rd place. And a slipstream very, very strong in this game. Heading across line now, and DRS has just been enabled then, so when they get to the top of Radion corner and down the Kemmel Straight, they'll get that DRS button, and indeed out of the bus stop chicane and down towards turn 1 as well. 2 DRS zones on this track, a lot of elevation change as well. 8/10 is the gap between Javel and Dirk, so Javel will be getting that DRS assistance down the Kemmel Straight. DRS flies open for the Alpine. He'll be gaining all the time in a straight line. You've got Haswanis there and the Mercedes battling out on the track, and Prinz blasts past the Red Bull actually before they even get to the braking zone of the corner. And Mercedes passing a Red Bull. Where have I seen that before? As Prinz actually sets the fastest sector 1 of absolutely anybody in this race so far. The top 5 absolutely nose to tail as K-Dots and Joe Red are going wheel to wheel, and K-Dots gets the move done very easily there on his rival in the Haas car. I know Javel picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be massive for the outcome of this race. Oh, he's gone very wide at Puchon as well in the dirty air. So it looks like the Alpine really struggling there in the dirt in the wake of the Alfa Romeo. Still on the soft tyres though. Tyres should last a fairly long time around this track. I expect we'll see drivers in around lap 9, between laps 9 and 11. We'll see how effective the undercut is. There's now Wolfie right in the slipstream of Javel. Looking at going back down to Koning now. He's trying to make a move on Joe Brady. He's got the outside line going in towards Blanchimont corner. It's going to be another remake of Verstappen and Nasser in 2015 at Blanchimont corner. And Koning's going to go round the outside here. Is he? Yes, he does. And what a move from the Alfa Romeo, who keeps it all on the track and pointing in the right direction. That was a great move there from him. We've got Eatler off again in the middle sets. He spun on the exit of Fania and Prem, already into the pit lane, and that's for the hard tyres. So a very early stop here for the Ferrari. Oh, and it's for a front wing change as well. And actually, in all of that, Wolfie's got past Javel, and Javel now under pressure from the Mercedes of Prinz going into the corner. The Mercedes on the inside line, but can't brake late enough to get alongside. As oh, I've got a car off. Is that Perfect Pond? No, it's K-Dots who's gone off at Radion. Gets the car pointing in the right direction again. But then, yeah, very strange sequence of events there. Oh, we've got 2 cars out. And then Prems and AJ come together at oh, they have! And AJ's crashed at the top of Radion. And where has that come from? What on earth? Ethan now approaching the instance. And we've got a full-blown safety car. Full-blown safety car. We've got Prems' car off to the right-hand side there. That was a very strange crash indeed. A full-blown safety car after 4 laps here. Sure, Prem's not very happy either with himself, not very happy with AJ there at the top of Radion corner. And now who will we see come into the pits? Dirk comes into the pits. Wolfie stays out. Javel comes into the pits. Prinz pits. Did Prinz hit the wall there? It sounded like we heard a bit of a damage noise. So everyone's come into the pits so far. As Prinz is in for the hards. Dirk comes in. Let's see what tyres our race leader goes on to. It's a set of the mediums that look like. As you come out of the pits, it is a set of the mediums there for the Alfa Romeo. Prinz comes out of the pits. He's on the hard tyre. has Wannis on the medium compound, but Wolfie has stayed out here. Could this either be a piece of strategic masterstroke from Williams, or a bit of a mistake? We'll have to wait and see as the race plays out. No, I don't think we're going to restart with 5 laps in. Oh, we've got a bit of a... Oh, big crash! And that's Javel who's gone off. Javel crashes under the safety car, loses his front wing now as well. And that was a very, very strange crash there. So Javel, who was in the fight for the lead at one point in this race, will now have to pit once again. Oh, and as Aston is disconnected as well. And we'll try and get Aston back in the lobby as quickly as possible. I'll try and invite him here as well. Just bear with me, everybody. Oh, I can't invite him apparently. So yeah, hopefully Aston can join back. But yeah, it will be a trip to the pits for the Alpine. He will drop right to the back of the pack here. And so it does manage to make it into the pits. Aston as well coming into the pits here. So is that his AI who's made that decision, or is that Aston who's chosen to come into the pit lane? It is for a set of the hard tyres here. So onto the hards for the Aston Martin crew. No, I keep saying Alpha Martin, but there you go. Aston now rolling back down the pit lane. Javel gets a new front wing and a set of the mediums, and his car was stuck, but it is now rolling down the pit lane. Oh, and Javel's in the wall. Javel hit the pit exit wall. There's only damage done to that car. That's a very, very strange crash there from Javel. Yeah, Wolfie still leads this race then. He'll be hoping for another safety car at some point in the near future. So we've got Wolfie on the softs, Dirk on medium, Prinz on the hards, has Wannis on the mediums. Harry went to the soft tyres, but did he not start on the softs? He did, so Harry... It's a very peculiar decision there from Harry to go into another set of the soft tyres. He will have to stop again in this race. Joe has not stopped yet. Koning has gone into a set of the hards. K-Dots on the medium. Osweiler Goals on the medium. Perfect Pond has gone for the hards. Eatler for the mediums. Aston for the hards. And Jabil for the medium compound of tyre. We should get a safety car in this lap, hopefully. And get back to some green flag racing. Wolfie, the sole remaining Williams, currently leads this race. And you've got a safety car in this lap. So, Wolfie will become the de facto safety car in the final section. He gets to dictate the pace, and he gets to decide when he unleashes the field. 13,000 horsepowers unleashed around the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes, here in Belgium. I'm not going to be able to invite Aston because every time I try it gives me an error. So if Dan's still in the lobby, if he can invite him back. Anyway, Wolfie then, he's going to set the pace. He will decide when it's time to go. Makes his way through the final corner now, and out of the final corner he's going to blast down the main straight. We're back to green flag racing here in Spa, and Prince actually got a bit of a bad start, but they've got a car round, and that's Koning who's gone round. Koning round at the race restart. Oh, and look at that, Prince is being challenged now by Hasmanis, gets forced right at the apex of the first corner. Now Harry's going to go wheel to wheel with the Mercedes and in towards Radion and Rouge. He's going to go up the hill now ahead of the Mercedes on those soft tyres. And Prince is going to be tucked right in to the slipstream. Here comes Prince now around the outside, going in towards the next corner, but Harry just has more ERS to play with and keeps the position, and Wolfie's already down a position to Dirk. And Dirk moves back up into the lead of this race. Defends the inside line now going into Bruxelles. Nothing Wolfie can do at this stage in the race, as also while the goals gets past Joe as well. Perfect pond. This has really helped him out. He's up into P8 now and going down the inside of the Haas. Gets it all done. And now Joe Brennan and Ela, the two Haas going wheel to wheel. Don't crash it. That's Hasmanis. Hasmanis is round. And he's going to fall right to the back of the field here. And crazy stuff there at the front end of the pack. That Prince rounding the corner at Stavelot. Now Wolfie is still managing to keep within a second there of Dirk. But we'll have to wait and see if he can keep that come for the next couple of laps, and then he will get DRS assistance. That being said, he has just dropped out now of that 1 second window, so the mediums look like they're better than the softs at this stage in the race. But it's still Dirk who leads then, from Wolfie in second, Harry in third, Prince in fourth, and it's going to be Osweiler goals in fifth. He's a bit of a ways now behind his teammate. As a Koning there looking to make a move on Aston, and he sends it on the brakes into turn one and gets the move done very nicely. Very nice move there from the Alfa Romeo. Joe, if you can't complete the race of your controller, you just have to leave the session, I'm afraid. If you can. They now barrel their way through Pouhon corner. Harry tucked. Look how close Harry is now to the back of Wolfie. Wolfie doesn't. I think he might have made a mistake there by staying out on those tyres. Hasmanis now gets past Aston going into Pouhon. As Joe has left the session. Thank you, Joe, for doing that. Dirk already stretching his legs, the advantage up to 1.7 seconds here. Wolfie coming under intense pressure from the Ferrari behind now. 2 tenths down going into the final corner. He's going to send one up the inside. No, he is not. Locked up there actually on the front right hand side tyre. And have to bring Prince back into play now as well, as DRS should be enabled on this lap. Indeed it is. And in the Ferrari now, Harry, after starting last, already back up into the podium positions, but with another stop to make in this race. Lap 10 of 22, or 9:22. We're about to be almost halfway through this race. That's up region manager, and this move looks like a bit of a formality here, as now with DRS open and a bit of overtake, as Harry's going to go to the inside, and Wolfie leaves it open to him. We're going to crash there at turn 1. No damage on it looks like, but it's going to be Harry then up into P2 and past the Williams. That's perfect pond as well, getting around the outside of Etler, going into Lacombe. As Hasmanis, Koning and Aston all very close together out here on the track. Oh, as Aston has not joined back, and Koning breaks very late. Has Linus also goes wide at the apex of the corner, and now moves back over to the racing line and cuts off that door. No chance there for Koning to go around the outside, as Jayville picks up another 3-second time penalty. He currently finds himself in 8th position after that spin under the safety car. Now Prince really piling the pressure onto Wolfie, coming up to the bus stop chicane, going round the outside, late on the brakes, and look at that from Prince. Great move from him as Wolfie dives for the pit, and then so Wolfie calls it quits on that strategy and actually hits the wall there. We'll have to wait and see if that's caused any damage to the Williams, but all of a sudden gotten very, very overcast here at this, in Belgium. And we'll see what tyres this is for now. For Wolfie, should be a set of... Are those softs? Those are softs. The drivers must know something that we don't here. Jable's back into the pits as well. That's for a front wing change. Wolfie gets sent back out onto the track for soft tyres. And is it potentially going to rain here? Haswan is now into the pit lane, coming out of the pit, sorry. He keeps his advantage over Joey Brader as well. As Wolfie picks up a 3-second time penalty, that could be crucial in his charge now back through the field. He really needs to step on it if he wants to catch up to the cars in front, but it does look like it could rain here. It's very, very, very overcast in the sky. We'll keep searching for the white streaks on the car, the telltale sign of rain in this game. I've got yellows now again, and that's Haswanis who's off again in the middle section. He's having a really, really bad race. Goes from bad to worse for the Red Bull. As now Eatler, 0.6 of a second behind Perfect Pond. As now they round the final corner, back on the power once again. DRS flies open for Eatler. And approaching turn number 1, nothing doing there for the Haas, but they'll have a good run now out of this corner and down towards Lecom, down the Camel Straight. The two Mercedes also very close together. We'll see if there's any team orders there. It's now up, Rajon Rouge, they come and got a spinner. That's Koning off at the final corner. 0.5 of a second behind now is Eatler. Gaining on the McLaren, gaining. And now the McLaren goes to the inside. Eatler's going to go to the inside. And he's going to get the move done, is he? But no, Perfect Pond is still there. They're going to go wheel to wheel now through the com and on the exit of the corner. And look at that from the McLaren. Just about keeps his car in front. And great defensive driving there from Perfect Pond. See if Eatler can get his Haas back into an attacking position then with Perfect Pond. It's actually got Osweiler goals very close to the back of Prinz now. These two on different strategies. You would expect Prinz to let his teammate go through and try and chase down Harry. Doesn't look that way, however, as in the slipstream out of Blanchimont, the two Mercedes nose to tail here as they go into the bus stop chicane. Does Prince send it on his teammate? Doesn't look like it at the moment. He's going to try and set him up now out of the final corner and down the main straight. He's going to have DRS open and the two Mercs giving each other no quarter here. As goes the Benter, goes to the inside now. Does Osweiler goals on his teammate, and great move there from Osweiler goals into turn 1 and goes up into 3rd position. We'll have to see if Prince fights this now because he's gaining on his teammate going into Razion and Rouge. Don't crash here, guys. Toto Ito will not be happy as the DRS going to fly open now for Prince as they are going to fight here. Oswaldagos goes defensive, but Prince with a DRS just swoops around the outside there down the Camel Straight, and Eatler is now on Perfect Pond. Eatler down the inside. They're just about wheel to wheel into Lacombe corner. Perfect Pond somehow keeps it, and both drivers somehow keep it out of each other's side pods there. As Oswaldagos does get past Prince, and got yellow to sector 1 again, as that Koning's gone round. I don't think it was there, but I think Prince realised that the two cars are on different strategies, and it was beneficial to the team to allow Oswaldagos to go through and try and chase down Harry, especially as it was losing them time now to Perfect Pond and to Eatler. Don't forget, Perfect Pond has got pace in this around this track. He qualified on pole but had that unfortunate incident on the first lap, and now he's really homing in on the two Mercedes. He's got that gap down to under 1 second, so he will have the DRS advantage the next time they pass through the detection zone if he can keep his car there. Oh, we've got yellow to sector 2, and that's Koning who's got some front wing damage. He's got end plate damage there, has Koning, so he'll be making a trip back to the pit lane. That's Perfect Pond and Eatler still going out, and Harry's in the pits. Harry comes into the pits, and all of a sudden here it's gotten much less overcast. Yeah, now look, it's got a four-way battle for second place in this race. As Harry finally does actually pit for the medium tyres. But now Prince again down the back straight just has so much of an advantage that he's able to pull alongside his team, but Eatler's trying to pull alongside Perfect Pond again for the third time, but now Perfect Pond's on the inside, but Eatler drives it round the outside, and third time lucky, oh no it isn't, because Perfect Pond's coming back at him now, going into Bruxelles corner. Perfect Pond on the inside, Eatler breaks later but locks up. Now Perfect Pond has got the better line around the corner. Is he going to force the Haas wide? Yes he is, and what a defence this is from Perfect Pond in this race, absolutely brilliant. Eatler still can't get through here. Oh, the two Mercedes getting very up close and personal. Oswaldagos has got back past his teammate once again, but they have to be careful with this now, because Perfect Pond is brilliantly poised to make an attack if either of these two Mercedes cars get something wrong. And we've got Javel off in the middle sector, and he is in the wall. Doesn't look like there's any damage done to that car, so he'll be continuing on his way. But now Prince looking for a move on his teammate into the final corner, but nothing doing there. Oh, as Perfect Pond has got damage, so Perfect Pond's back into the pit lane. That's terrible luck for him. Eatler follows him in. Did they both have damage there? Got a car off Radion Rouge, and that's Koning who's gone off there. He's back into the pit lane, but Eatler and Perfect Pond both have damage. It's soft tyres for the McLaren and a front wing change, and for the Haas doesn't look like a front wing change there. It's another set of the mediums. So do these drivers not think those tyres are going to get to the end of the race here potentially? But Prince and Oswaldagos once again swapping positions out there on the racetrack. And Harry and Perfect Pond are going wheel to wheel into Rouge, and Radion. Harry on the inside gets it round the outside of Radion. What a move from the Ferrari. And he now goes ahead of Perfect Pond, but Perfect Pond coming back at him now down the straight. The Ferrari goes defensive, but is it going to be enough? Perfect Pond loves that outside line around the comments we found out, and he makes the move back on the Ferrari almost instantly. And Mercedes McLaren versus Ferrari. Tell me this is 2007 all over again. Sector 1. We've got Javel's out. Javel's out of the race. Let's see what's happened to his car there. Oh, and that's a big crash for Javel. So he's lost it over the top of Radion's safety car. Oh, and Aston's hit the back of him as well. So we've got a massive crash there for Javel. It looks like he must have lost it over the top of Radion, has hit the wall and travelled so far that he's ended up halfway down the Kemmel Straight. Oh, was Joe... Joe's going to need some new underwear after that close call, I believe. So that 14:22, second safety car of the race. Osweilergold's now trying to slow down enough so he's not affected by Prince's pit stop. He's going to come in then for the soft tyres. Softs go on for the Mercedes and goes back out onto the track, and Mercedes have timed this absolutely beautifully here. Osweilergold now comes in and doesn't have to wait for his teammate at all here, and gets his set of mediums to go on the car. So they're splitting the strategies down there at Mercedes. Wolfie as well, it's a fresh set of the medium tyres. He's going to get out in front of Old... Oh, he is! And Osweilergold's actually dropped a position there to Wolfie. But is Wolfie going to beat Harry out of the pits? Yes, he is. So Wolfie stays ahead of Harry now. Perfect Pond coming out of the pits on the fresh set of mediums. And we've lost 6 cars from this race. Jayville, Prems, AJR UK, and on the first lap we lost Dan, Black Countrymish, and K-Dots. So K-Dots was disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All the cars weaving, keeping that tyre tent into the tyres. Obviously. Is now through Pujon they come at safety car speed. Probably going to have one more lap of safety car, I'd assume, as Koenig is just crossing the start-finish straight. Very, very long track here, so it's going to take a while for all of the cars to get bunched up around behind the safety car. Still under safety car conditions. Here the Haas going down the main straight there, so he should get the safety car in this lap. It's going to be interesting to see here how this works out between Dirk and Prince, both on the set of the soft tyres, Eatler and Wolfie and Harry, Osweilergold and Perfect Pond, all on the mediums. So in the first stage of the safety car restart, you would expect Dirk and Prince to have more grip there on the soft tyres. Car's going down the back straight now. It's just going to be waiting for Aston's AI, I think, to join at the back of the pack. It's looking like one of those days where just getting to the end of the race will ensure that you get some points towards your championship effort. Cars forming up here, and yeah, we're going to get a safety car in this lap, fairly certain, as we'll have all of the cars that we need in the train. So fingers crossed the game will let us go back to some green flag racing. As Javel has left, okay, he's already out of the race. And safety car comes in for this lap. So Dirk becomes a de facto safety car then in this final sector. He will decide when the cars get to go back to green flag racing, when to unleash 11,000 horsepower around this track, as Eden picks up a 5-second time penalty there for crashing into Prince. So that could come back to haunt him at the end of the race. And now towards the final corner. When will Dirk decide to bolt? We've got 6 laps to decide the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix here in the Nitrous Racing League Turbo Series. And Dirk has gone at the final corner. It's going to be a green flag. We're going back to green flag racing here, down in towards the first corner. Already has a 7/10 lead over the cars behind us. Wider goes looking at the inside of Harry, going into turn 1. Can he make this move stick? He's going to force him wide. And they're going to go wheel to wheel down this little straight and into Razzie on Eau Rouge. But Wider goes gets the move done before we get to that very impressive corner there, and gets the move done on him as well. And now looking at the back of Wolfie already, and also Wider goes making big movements on that one, switched it to the inside line. Wolfie defends the position there, and now Haswan's and Perfect Pond going at it as well in the battle for 7th position, and Haswan is going round the outside of that car, and also Wider goes on the inside and he spun, and also Wider goes spins out of the battle. And that will more or less destroy those Wider Goals race and any chance at the podium. But Harry getting past Wolfie, has Wanner trying to get past Wolfie as well. As they go side by side into No Name Corner, Wolfie backs out of it. He does have a championship to think about as well. And Perfect Pond now looking very hungry on the back of the Williams, going into Pujon Corner. And look at that, going round the outside is the Perfect Pond with a perfect move on Wolfie. What a move that was from the McLaren, and that was coming out of absolutely nowhere. Great stuff there from the McLaren. Now Haswanitz, we're seeing how good those soft tyres already are. Getting them up to temperature is going to make a move here on Harry. As they go into Blanchimont, he's going to wait until the bus stop chicane. He's going to wait, tucks back into the slipstream of the Ferrari, takes a look to the outside line, going to brake later, and the Ferrari going to go around the outside. There's contact between the two, and Hasmanis keeps his foot in there, keeps his car in there, and I'll look at Perfect Pond once again. Could be some opportunistic driving here from the McLaren going into turn 1. He's left the outside line open, but how he's going to switch it to the inside. What a move from Perfect Pond as well, and Harry goes down 2 positions in the space of 2 corners there, and Perfect Pond has still got enough of a gap to Haswanitz that he will be benefiting from that slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. We'll have to wait and see if Harry can get close enough to have a move into the Com corner. And down the Kemmel Straight we go now. Can he get close enough here? No, he's losing time actually in a straight line to Perfect Pond, and this has been a great recovery drive from Perfect Pond. As you saw in qualifying, Perfect Pond has got some serious pace around here, and he's using it to great effect now. As Oswaldo picks up another 3-second time penalty, and his race goes from bad to even worse. Got just over 4 laps left to run in this race. As now, actually, look at this. Prince gaining, and got a car up, and that's Koning. Koning's off at Pujon Corner. You see that Antonio Giovinazzi goes back onto the track and has a as Haswanitz there picks up a 3-second time penalty again. He's right in front of Perfect Pond now, but look at Prince. Prince only half a second behind Dirk, with more usable energy on the ERS than his Alfa Romeo rival. And now braking into the final corner, and we're going to get DRS enabled, I think, on this lap. So Prince will have that DRS advantage as long as he was within 1 second of the car in front, which he is at the moment. So going down into turn 1 then, And we have to set him up here. It's going to affect his run now all the way into Lacombe. Now on the exit of the corner and down this mini straight in towards Rouge at the bottom, Radion at the top. There'll be a bit of understeer there in the Mercedes as we head over the top of the hill. DRS flies open then from half a second back. Look at Prince gaining in the slipstream as well, uses some overtake button to try and get as close as he can to Dirk, but nothing doing there on that occasion. Just needs a little bit more straight, it felt like, to try and get past the Alfa Romeo. The front two separated by absolutely nothing here at the moment. Oh, and so Wolfie's come into the pits there actually. Wolfie, for some reason, has come into the pits on the last lap. He's now outside of the points, as it's the battle of the AIs between Joe and Aston. As Dirk puts his foot down a bit through the middle sector and gets that gap back out to about 7/10. But now, with a little some superior straight line speed there, really, with the Mercedes. Maybe running a different wing setup to the Alfa Romeo. But look at how much time that Prince is gaining now in the slipstream. 5/10 is falling all the time. Just needs to make sure that he can set him up on the exit of the first corner and try and get him down the Kemmel Straight. But it does look like Prince is faster at this stage in the race. So, 3 laps to go as they cross the line then. DRS open once again for the Mercedes here. Can he make a move on Dirk into turn 1? No, he can't. So I'm going to set him up here once again and have a go going into Lacombe. I'm going to be wheel to wheel for the race lead, and boy, we've got a race on our hands now. Through Rouge, and now Radion keeps it all nicely together from half a second back once again, and roughly the same as it was on the last lap, and now down the Kemmel Straight once again. And just not gaining enough really as Prince in the slipstream. As I think somewhere in there, Koenig has had another spin in the final sector. He'll drop even further now behind Osweiler goals. As it has, Wannis now has caught the back of Eitler in the battle for 3rd position. Oh, Wolfie got wing damage. That's why he had to come into the pits. So that's really unfortunate there for Wolfie. He was in the battle for the podium positions. That will be very hard for him to get back to now, I think, without some kind of disaster up in the front of the pack. So 3 laps left to go, including this one. Now through Blanchimont they come. The front two, they've dropped Eitler by about 2.4 seconds now, but Wannis is looking to try and change that. Let's set him up out of the final corner. Can he get a good enough run down the main straight? DRS open, ERS on. He's going to go to the outside line on Eitler. Can he make this work? Can he dance his Red Bull around the outside? He's going to try, at the source, and he makes it work. Wannis gets a terrible exit. Eitler gets a terrible exit, and now Wannis up into P3 on the racetrack, but Eitler's going to have such a massive DRS advantage now as they come down the Kemmel Straight, but get some dirty air as well behind the Red Bull. DRS flies open for the Wannis goes defensive. Eitler's going to have to try and work this to the outside line now, trying to have ERS going to go to the outside. It's going to go around the outside, is he? But the two drivers keeping their noses in there. Wannis now falls behind Eitler, and Eitler must have been studying Perfect Pond because that was a good defense. But now Wannis with the superior traction going into Bruxelles corner, forces his way through. Perfect Pond tried to have a look as well, but gets shoved onto the curb. And great stuff there from Wannis and from Eitler, keeping it clean, keeping it out of each other's cars, and Eitler falls the position in the end. Or does he? Because now coming into the next corner, Either had a look up the inside into Fagno. That was never ever going to work there. So why does he chooses to back out of it? Now Perfect Pond looking very, very strong on the back of these two. As going back up here to the front too, and it's still Prince 5/10 behind Dirk. This has got so many hallmarks of the race just yesterday. But Perfect Pond looking to the outside now on Ida. Gonna switch it to the inside at the final chicane. Launches one down the inside on Ida. Can he get the drive off the final corner and to try and get the cutback move done on Ida in the Haas? With the DRS now down the first straight into turn 1, but no, too far away. But Prinz, look at how close Prinz is now to Dirk. This is the closest he has been at any stage in this race. 0.3 of a second to go of Rouge, and through Rajion 2/10, he's gaining all the time. It's going to be a move for the lead here on the final lap of the race. He's going to Dirk goes defensive. That's not going to be enough to stop Prinz, who goes round the outside and into the lead of the race. And Haswan is now 4 seconds behind these guys, and Perfect Pond is in a DRS train here. It looks like with Eatler not being able to gain on Haswanis in the battle for third, but now Prinz leads this race. Can Dirk fight back on the final lap of the race, and crucially, can Dirk not pick up a penalty on this last lap and try and keep it all together for this race win? Because Prinz, I've just noticed, does have a 3-second time penalty at least here. Oh no, that's from the so that might actually be removed there for Prinz. This could actually be the battle for the lead of the race going on to the final lap of the race. Well, that's a 5-second time penalty for a collision under a safety car. There could be an investigation into that penalty, and it could be removed. So we could have just seen an overtake for the actual lead on the final lap. Either picks up another 3-second time penalty, so that takes him out of the battle with himself and Perfect Pond. But now it looks like it's going to be Prinz, who has not led a lap, in this race before lap 22. But you know what they say, the only lap that counts is the last one, and now Prinz rounds the last 2 corners through the bus stop chicane in the Mercedes, and surprise, surprise, there's the Mercedes back on top, and it's Prinz who takes the win in Belgium, but Dirk will get it at the moment on penalties. Hasmanis will take third on the track, and Perfect Pond will take third overall. So Dirk wins this race on penalties so far, but these results are definitely provisional here. Harry will take 5th. Eatler at the moment takes 6th. Also Widergolds takes 7th. Koning will finish in the points, and as indeed will Wolfie, and Aston will take the final point here today. Very well done to all of the drivers who made their way to the end of the race. Yeah, it's going to be Dirk who takes this win then at the moment, but these results are provisional. They could change. But yeah, we're going to see Dirk, very well deserved for him as well. Drove a fantastic race. Spraying the champagne there. Great stuff to see. The, I believe Canadian in the Alfa Romeo? No, the Mexican in the Alfa Romeo, the Canadian in the McLaren, but great recovery drive there from Perfect Pond as well. Fell to the back of the pack, P17, brought it back to the podium. Absolutely fantastic drive from him. So Dirk takes the win here provisionally. Up there in the runnings for the podium positions, he crashed out under the safety car and then crashed at the top of Rajon K-Dot's DNF as well. Prems, AJ, Dan and Black Country Mushu both went out on the first lap. Yeah, a very entertaining race there from the Turbo League. Wait and see if we can actually get out of the lobby here. This is very strange. It usually does. We had a lobby glitch right at the end of the stream. So that'd be quite funny. Yeah, I'll try and get some instant race reaction in the chat. I believe we have got a lobby glitch right at the end. So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of the final race results for F1 Love It. yeah, I think we're going to end that stream there. So for all of the drivers who participated and got to the end, well done. Bad luck to the drivers who DNF'd from that race or had other issues. But yeah, from me, from the Nitrous Racing League, that's going to be it for us, and we'll see you next week. Do not worry about that. Goodbye, everybody.